Hey, Reflections. So, I've been gone for a while. It just felt right. My partner has been home from work for the past 3 or 4 weeks, so we've been having a lot of fun and just relaxing, taking some time off for myself, which I find is quite healthy, you know? There's a lot of stuff in the news about YouTubers and vloggers and how it's always one-upping themselves, you know, and I also find that within myself as well. For you to say you do not feel this is for you to say that you are not human, okay? So there's nothing wrong with this type of behavior. It's first off being aware of this thing that needs to be fueled, you know, and it consumes you, and I feel it as well. And the reason why I like to be very candid and honest about these things is because, number one, first and foremost, I speak truth, okay? And it could be the collective truth, it could be my truth, it doesn't really matter, it's all truth. So when I find that I do a particularly brilliant video, I just want to keep that going and I just want to ride that wave. And I find that this is a very human experience, you know, this is a very human reaction to validation, to dopamine. You know, we're all addicts. Terence McKenna was completely on point on this, and to deny that is to deny your humanity. So what I do is I like to take a step back from time to time just to make sure that I am not too invested in this, you know. I do realize that I do have a job to do here. However, I do not want to identify it to make it become me, you know, and once you identify with something, once you are so invested in something, once something defines you, then all of a sudden it becomes very hard to walk away from that. And that detachment, I find, is very necessary for me, detaching from everything. Now, we need to operate, obviously, in this 3D realm with the ego, obviously. However, I find that people are really, really just like buying into the scam or buying into the illusion. So today we're going to be talking about, number one, a dream that I had. So it's going to be a lucid dream video. The first lucid dream video the first lucid dream, this is all one video, was about the Illuminati. And you guys know that I am not actively searching the Illuminati. However, it's part of the collective unconsciousness, and I really do feel that Jung was really hit it on the head, because again, it feels that I am accessing the collective unconscious, or something that's trending, you know, something that's trending. And they came to me, and the first dream I had with a very dark entity, the devil, I shared with you guys, and I shared the amount of knowledge that was downloaded to me telepathically and psychically, and what I learned from that. And this dream was no different. This really spoke to me because it showed me the depths of humanity, the depths of me, the depths of all of us. And again, this is relevant because I'll get to that in a second. These birds are making a lot of noise right now. Sorry, I get very distracted with noise. You know, everything is very, very sensitive to me right now, and it seems like I need sensory deprivation because I am constantly in sensory overload, if that makes any sense to you guys. So the Illuminati lucid dream. Okay, so the first time, remember I told you the devil came to me and he said, join me and I will give you everything. Well, it was the exact same dream, basically. It was no different. The Illuminati, which was, or a secret society. Now, everything was telepathic. It didn't scream at me, you know, Illuminati, or it was basically telepathic, and it was secret society. You know, any society that you feel that you need to give your soul to gain access to unlimited power and potential because it is not within you, okay? So, I've been doing this for a while. And for a while, to others, my success is only shown through numbers, through success, okay? Through validation, through numbers, because we're living in a number matrix, okay? So to others, they might see me as not successful because I don't have, you know, X, Y, and Z. So I might want to buy into this illusion and say, okay, you know, they came to me. Now, there were 3 men, and they were, again, very similar to my devil dream, where it was a man in a suit, okay? It was a man in a corporate office, downtown New York, in a suit. And this time around, it was the very same thing. However, it was 3 men. They looked very boyish, very Wolf of Wall Street, to be honest with you. And they came to me and they were white, which is kind of odd because the devil, and I don't think I told you guys this, but the devil was a black man, which threw me off. And he was in this like $5,000-$10,000 suit. Well, it was the same thing, and it was showing me that no matter what race, no matter what creed, no matter what ideology, no matter what culture, anyone can buy into this illusion, okay? Where they are helpless, where they need the help of self-service, you know, an entity or a malevolent entity, whatever you feel this is, to help you gain access to your highest potential because you don't feel that you can access your highest potential, okay? So for me, it showed me what this all was about. And it was about humanity self-serving, not caring about anybody else, and selling out because they want the dream. It's all about the self, it's all about individualism, it's all about me and what I can get, and I don't care about anybody else because I'm just trying to survive. Okay, and that's everybody's story. It's everybody's story. So they came to me and they said, hey, we can give you all the riches you want, we can give you everything you want. You are, again, X, Y, and Z. So it could be you are beautiful, or you are talented, or you are smarter than everybody. That's what all of this elitist mentality is. You feel that you deserve more or you deserve better because you are special, because you are from a certain bloodline, because you were born into something, because you are smarter than people, because you are more beautiful than people. This is a human problem that we have, entitlement, okay? So if you, and this is elitism, okay? This is the caste system that is permeating all cultures, okay? So whether you're in India, whether you're in America, if you don't have money or if you have a lot of money, you have a different status in life, you have different opportunities, and things are generally different, okay? So they said to me, you're special, okay? It's the same thing that they these dark entities, whatever you would call them, I was indifferent to them until the end. And basically what they told me was, you're special, we're gonna give you X, Y, and Z, just sell your soul. And it was a contract, it was a soul contract, it was a psychic thing. It was a spiritual thing. It wasn't writing in blood. You have to give permission, okay? So I had to give permission. And of course I do YouTube videos. So I asked them, well, I want to know my options. What do I have to do to be part of this elite club, you know? And they gave me the first option, and the first option, now, mind you, I didn't know what this was. It looked like some type of parasite or something, and I didn't know what it was. And then actually, I think I saw a Stranger Things episode, and it looked exactly the same thing. You know, that what the kid ate, and it was like a chunk of something, and it was a parasite, and it was within him. Well, that's exactly what it looked like. The first thing was a parasite, and I was repulsed. Okay, I was fucking repulsed. And the second option was something odd. It was waste. It was like blood and urine and feces and semen and all of this stuff, which again repulsed me to the core. And I was like, ew, I'm not doing that. I'm not drinking or consuming that. And the third test was being violently gang raped, to be honest with you. And those were my three options. And I said no. I remember feeling this sense of repulsion, you know, and I didn't even realize that was a feeling that I could feel in my dreams. But I remember feeling that my soul was being violated if I allowed them. If I said yes, if I agreed to this, and everything needs your agreement, needs your yes, needs your validation in order to let it in within your life. I find psychically these things. And that terrified me, so it really taught me a lot about self-serving, you know, and we're living in a very self-serving society where we don't care about the collective. We don't care about our brothers and sisters. We don't care. You know, I see the same thing in YouTube. Instead of everybody saying, hey, let's get together. You know, one day, let's all of us get together. Let's all of us talk to our viewers, and let's collaborate. Let's be on one page. Let's be in unification. You know, automatically, if you say unified, if you say work together, if you say anything like that, you are a new age shill, instead of realizing that there is a common evil that we have to fight. And that is within you and I, and that is within the universe, and that is within the world. You know, that is the black and the white, the duality. You know, and that's why the middle ground is so important in understanding that duality within all of us, you know, and that's something that we do not understand, that is the game, you know, that they divide and conquer. They are not us, okay? They sold out a long fucking time ago, And it's up to us individually and collectively to not buy into that self-serving perspective, you know, and that's one thing that I realize. It's all about me, and that's why I find it very hard to connect, you know, on this platform with people, because I find that it's all about that one person on the spotlight, you know, it's all about them. Them. It's very Black Mirror. You know, I don't know what episode that was, but everybody has their shtick, okay? Everybody has their shtick, and they're in the limelight, and that's what they're feeding off of, not realizing that that is not truth, not realizing that that is not change, okay? That's not doing shit, but feeding the self, you know, and feeding that dopamine that needs to, you know, that's the same thing. It's the same thing. And that's what frustrates me, because change cannot happen until we are unified against a common evil. And what is evil but duality? I was having a conversation with my partner, and he was saying, good and evil is just something the church made. And I said, good and evil is duality, the sun and the moon, life and death. It's everything. 0 and 1, binary. We're living in a binary system. And for me, it's something that I see, but I don't really know what to do. I don't think one person can change it. I think that they can inspire others to come together. And I saw, change, or what I thought was change before, but I saw, I was there for the Black Lives Matter movement. I was there. And I saw millions of people come together, and that was shocking. And if I could see it once, I could see it again. But that's the only way that real change is going to come, when people just quit their jobs, when they just are done with this system. Free market systems don't really work. And the whole entire system is flawed to the very core. And we're going to have to say we do not want to put our time and our energy into this. We don't want to be part of this. And it's going to take a change within. I really do feel that things are going to have to get really bad for us to just be so disgusted by what we're doing to each other, by what we're doing to Earth. And that was what my dream was. It was a wake-up call to the self-serving nature of reality and the dualistic nature of reality, where you do not care about your brother, your sister, your friends, your family, no one. You just care about yourself. And I see that within my family. I see that. The second dream was, let's see if I have any time. Okay, probably do. The second dream was taking 10 hits of acid. Holy crap. Yeah, that was intense. I had a lucid dream because I was thinking, should I do psychedelics? Should I do psychedelics because I am a psychedelic channel? But then I realized that's not true. Not only am I psychedelic, but I'm also a seer, okay? So this is everything. This is a channel about the mystical path. And I find that, again, that, what are those kids' names? That whole controversy with that Logan Paul, or whatever the hell his name is. I don't know. I don't watch that stuff. But I did to see what was going on, and I saw that that's the same thing. That pushing the envelope, that never enough, that constantly trying to outdo. Not to say that that is a good thing, not to say that that is a good role model for 15 million children. Absolutely not. While I am banned from, anybody to see me that's 18 and under, absolutely not. I find that a huge, I just find that hysterical that is what YouTube shows to children to aspire to do. To have this macho, it's not enough, always trying to top one another. That's the agenda. Okay, that's the agenda. So I was talking to myself and I was thinking to myself, should I have a psychedelic experience? And I thought to myself, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you have watched my channel for the past year, you've realized I used all last year as a psychedelic trip. And I've tripped enough. I've tripped enough that I am tripping in my dreams, and I'm having the psychedelic experience without the psychedelics, and that is basically the point. Okay? Video cut off. So, yeah, that's what I realized. I felt that it was just this thing where everything wasn't good enough. I had to do to top myself, and then I realized, no, number one, I always say mental health first. Okay? It's not about showing off. It's not about who can do the best, who can top one another. Again, that's a individual competitive mentality. Okay? It's what it is. And it's part of this consumer-based mentality to put us against one another, to compete with one another, and to compete with the self, and to outdo and keep this cycle, you know, and it just keeps on getting more and more and more. And that's basically how everything works. So I used all last year's trip, and I realized I don't need to prove anything to myself. I don't even need to prove anything to you guys. It's just something that when doing this and when finding yourself, you realize the only reason why you communicate, while you use this platform, is to spread truth, okay? And to understand the self and understand the collective. And that's it. Not to prove anything. And I find 99% of YouTube, it's for that reason, you know, to just push the envelope, to push, you get the gist. So anyway, that's how I feel about the whole entire situation. But anyway, so I took 10 hits of acid in my dreams, okay? And again, I was very happy about this because it showed that yes, I can have the experience without having to put myself in harm's way. And I did have a moment where I disassociated and I had that ego death, or the loss of the ego, because I felt like I was dying. And remember I told you a couple months ago I was having ayahuasca dreams, of doing ayahuasca in lucid dreams. Well, now I'm having it with acid, and basically I was at a party and somebody just comes up to me. I don't know who. That's the weird thing. You know, I've been having people in my dreams that I don't really know that are friends. Like, I've been having a good time in my dreams. But yeah, so somebody comes and they put 10 hits of acid in my mouth, and I swallow it, and they said, oh yeah, that was 10 hits of acid. And I was like, what? It's like, excuse me? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, like I'm high, I didn't really know what I was doing, I'm sorry. And it was like, well, you gotta deal with it. You know, like one of those high dose experiences where you have that fear is within you and you're terrified and you're just like, fuck, you know. But I realize I've had a lot of things happen to me where I don't really identify with the illusion anymore. So, you know, I was waiting for that death, you know, ego death to happen, and it was right on the brink. You know, it was right on the brink, and it was that oh shit moment of I took too much, I messed up, it's all over, you know. And again, I'm lucid, but I'm not really aware that it's a dream, which sometimes happens to me. And what happened was I surrendered. I surrendered, and you know what? It wasn't that bad. And then it made me realize, oh, I don't really need to do so. I'm there. If you're there, you don't need to be constantly doing psychedelics. I find that becomes a crutch to people. You know, it becomes a crutch. You could do it on your own. And you could do it in different ways. You could do it with meditation. You could do it with yoga. You could do it with psychedelics. You could do it with, there's so many ways, but just realize it's kind of that adrenaline junkie, you know. It's just like, look what I could do, you know, look what I could do. That's what it becomes. And when it becomes that, it defeats the purpose, because it becomes about the ego. And it becomes about, oh, I could do 5 grams, or I could do 6 grams, or I could do 30 grams, or I could do 10 hits of acid. It becomes a very macho, look what I could do, I'm better than you competition, you know, and that's not what I'm about. So yeah, I survived. It wasn't hard, to be honest with you. It was all about surrendering and letting go, and realizing that I've been there before, and there is nothing to worry about. There is nothing to worry about, because every single experience is here to teach you a lesson and teach you your strength, and your courage, and to remind you of why you're here. Anyway, reflections. Yeah, I had a lot to say, and you know, hopefully I'll do another video this week. I really do want to get into the groove again. Now that I'm alone, now that I could, you know, do my thing. I don't know, I'm very secretive with my work. That's just how I work. I work alone and I work in secret, and I don't let anybody look at things, and I don't share because it's very near and dear to me. And I know that, I don't know, but I am that way. Maybe I shouldn't be that way, but I am. Unless it's with you guys, I always share my projects. I always share everything on Snapchat with you guys to let you know what I'm doing even when I don't film, you know? So I'm always in touch. I'm always letting you guys know what's up, you know, because this feels more like a family than my family, you know? And I've always been an outsider, and it's good. It feels so comforting to have other people that just get it, you know, that just get it. Anyway, reflections. I hope you're having an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Hey reflections, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.